welcome to Women's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's episode, we're joined by a Buxton brewer and beer friend, Sophie. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. All right, we are super excited to have our friend Sophie with us today. So how this one started is Steve from Buxton got hold of us and was like, "Hey, do you want to have one of our brewers on your podcast?" And we were like, "Yeah, that's cool. Who is it?" And they were like, "He's like, it's Sophie." And we were like, "Oh, Sophie, from when we brewed at Heist for International Women's Day, and we met her there. Yes, we want to talk to our Sophie. That would be great." So here's our Sophie.
I think my response was legitimately yeah, would you be interested? And I was like, excitedly interested.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
We would love that. We would love that a lot. Sophie, if people don't know anything about Buxton or don't know anything about you, which they might not, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Buxton Brewery, please?
Yeah, obviously I'm Sophie. I work at Buxton Brewery, which is based in Buxton. Our brewery is on Staden Lane in Buxton, and then we've got our tap house just over the road, new and improved, so it's lovely there. And it's got one of the best beer gardens in Buxton, if I do say so. You can see completely over Buxton, which is great. I've been working for the company in total for about just over 5.5 years now, which is mental. A lot's happened, COVID, everything. But I am now, from this year in January, officially a brewer instead of assistant brewer here, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone's not watching the video, they were claps. So I feel like I had to add the yay so that people would know.
Try not to clap into the microphone.
I'm currently doing my apprenticeship as well to be a qualified brewer in total. Nice. So that's an exciting journey that I'm on as well. But yeah, bit about Buxton Brewery. It started in our founder's garage back in 2009. And then it slowly integrated to what it is now. So back in 2010, they had their full-time brewing going off on an 800-litre plant, which is a little cute. And then it soon just progressed to what it is now. Just before or during COVID, we got in a 30 hec brew kit, which is what I brew on now. It's mental. It's a fun piece of kit to brew on. Yeah, just a little bit bigger, which is exciting. And then we got a canning line in at pretty much the same time, which is massive, which I also got to run as well and learn that. So could do a fair bit, which is nice. But Buxton Brewery is well known for its crazy impy stouts that we used to do, especially with things like Omnipollo that we've done way in the past. We still do our silly little stouts, if that's what you want to call them. So we do our pancake buttermilk stouts, which are crazy. So the last one we did was a Black Forest Gatto, which is really tasty. It's got a nice cherry in it, which is great. And then we have a core range of about 9 beers as well here, as well as we do a lot of seasonal beers throughout the year and one-offs too. Yeah, that's about it.
I feel like when we talk about 2020 COVID times as well, I feel like it was not long after that I think what a lot of people might know Buxton for as well is the Kingslayer bit. I feel like that's I feel like there was early COVID days and that's all people were posting on it wasn't long after I joined the forums and people were like, you can get this in a super this is mind blowing. And I feel like that was one of the first beers that I picked up with like grocery, and I was like, it was insane that I was like, you can get this with your grocery, like this is wild. And I think everybody was just talking about it, so I think that might be one thing that a lot of people will go, oh yeah, that's definitely like, that's one that most people have had.
Beer. Yeah, it's such a crazy beer as well to have gone into like Tesco's at 8.4% or something. Yeah, but people drink loads of it. It's mental. It is absolutely mental. And
it's so drinkable.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I just remember being like, people talking about it, be like, I've got to get down and try this, and then like trying it and be like, why is this so drinkable? Like this is absolutely dangerous for like something that's so accessible and so tasty that you're just like, oh. And I think that that's probably what turned a lot of more casual craft beer drinkers, or like people that were on the fence, into being like, okay, there's more than just like some lagers and then like basic IPAs out there. Is like, that was one of the ones that was, I think, very influential to people to be like, ooh, big IPAs out here, big smooth flavors. Oh, this is nice. So I feel like Buxton should be taking credit for some of that for sure. And I've got the Bananas Foster pancake stout as well. So I haven't tried it yet. I've got it because I bought it in one of the last orders that I put into my own. I've been holding on to it because I'm like, I'm waiting for the right moment to try it. So the second you said pancake stout, was like, oh, I've got that.
I made it into like a Guinness cake, but I used that instead. Yeah. And it just came out like really stodgy and like boozy as well. And it was amazing.
I absolutely love that.
Nice.
Should we? I now I really, really want a beer. Should we crack open our first beer? Perfect. Cool. Yeah. First one we're going to have is Plan B, which is a honey infused pale ale. Do you want to tell us about that while we pour it?
Yeah. So Plan B is for World Bee Day. So a lot of our can labels, newer end of last year, were designed by a company called Ride Shotgun. And they came up to us and the World Bee Project to do a collaboration with them for this honey beer to support World Bee Day. A nice honey golden ale. And every can that gets bought, 10p goes to the World Bee Project. And I believe every cask, it's about £10, I believe, from the cask sales go to the Bee Project as well. So I really love the initiative that we've got for this beer, and that drinking beer, you're saving bees. Yeah. What more do you want?
What do you need? I was going to say, do you need a better reason? There you go. It smells absolutely beautiful as well. It smells so just like lovely, and it's got that like sweetness to it. Oh.
Is there a particular type of honey that you used for it?
I believe it's all English honey. So, and the hops are English as well, that we've put in there too. I believe it's either spring or summer honey, but from the UK.
I feel like honey and beer to me it always blows my mind, just of like how every time I think about it, from the first time that we talked about honey and beer, when it's like you could use the same exact thing, but you could use the same variety, but 1 year later, and it would be different. And that's always just like blown my mind entirely how that works. It's just like I don't think my brain can process that. It's insane. That is like, next year you could rebrew this, probably would taste slightly different because it's completely out of your control.
I like that there's a QR code on the back of the can here that says scan here for more beer and bee facts. Ooh, that's fun.
I was going to say that is very fun, isn't it? Do you want to talk us through like the tasting notes of what we should? I mean, I think it tastes lovely because I had a sip. But do you want to talk us through, for anyone that like buys a can of this and is maybe drinking it along while listening to it, like what should we be getting? What should come from this beer?
I think on the nose you get like a really nice kind of like sweet smell, and a bit of a floral kind of smell to it.
I don't disagree with that in the slightest.
Yeah.
There's nothing like too overpowering in this beer, which is quite nice. It's nice and subtle and like light. It's got a really nice colour to it. It's nice and straw, kind of golden colour.
The head is absolutely gorgeous. It's got like this super, like almost meringue white head on it.
I feel like it's incredibly drinkable.
Oh yeah.
Like you talking about having this most beautiful beer garden there. I feel like this is like the beer that you're crushing in that beer garden. Like so
It's perfect.
easily.
It is so perfect. Yeah. And I do think it's got like, for the amount of honey that's gone into this beer, which like is an incredible amount, really. The honey flavor isn't too much, which is nice. It does kind of like, it's got a nice mellow, but you can clearly taste the honey in it. And it adds that bit of sweetness. But I also think like honey and beer, bearing in mind this beer has not got a high bitterness to it, it does create its own bitter kind of taste to it, I find. But yeah, I think it's very almost traditional kind of golden ale vibe to it, which is nice. It's easy. It's just easy and drinkable, which is great.
That like literally all like the word that came to my brain when I took a sip was just like, this is drinkable. Like this is so drinkable. Very, very, like I feel like people throw the word sessionable around a lot, but this is like this properly is really sessionable, and it is so well balanced because like you said, there's that the sweetness is probably almost even more on the nose than in the like you get the honey, but that sweetness is definitely more on the nose, and it's so well balanced in the flavor where like you have those like lovely sort of like grainy sort of notes in it alongside that. It is, I feel like it would be way too easy to drink. I took a sip and I was like, I'll just have one more, like just one more. And I feel like this can would go really, really quickly. What actually inspired you to want to brew a beer for World Bee Day? Like what was who actually came up with it first, and like how did you decide that, yeah, absolutely, let's do that?
So our MD got approached from Ride Shotgun and the World Bee Day, the World Bee Project, about this. And he sent it across going that he was really interested in doing this. And my immediate response was yes. Like, I would love to do something for that. I think it's a really great project to have and a really good initiative. And it's something that then makes you more conscious as well about what's going on in the world. And it just kind of happened, which was nice. It just fell into our hands, and it was a chance to do something like this that, was great.
Did you immediately know that you were sort of like, we're going to do a honey infused pale ale, or was it sort of obviously the obvious thing to use is honey in there, but like how quickly did you know like this is the beer that we're making?
I think we already kind of, as soon as word got out, like this was our idea, it was like automatically we're putting honey into a beer. We know exactly what we're doing, where we're doing it, where it's going in. And it was just more like then trying to find what honeys we could get hold of in such a large quantity as well. That was in the UK, and keeping it very UK made still. So I had a bit of a dig through different types of honeys, like summer honey, spring honey, and like what flavors they have as well. And then we found this honey, and we had a little taster out of the tub beforehand, obviously in a different pot. Go to the beer, we had our own little honey, and we tried it, and it was really tasty. Honey's tasty, and then we kind of just knew where it was gonna go straight away.
How have you like brewed many beers with honey before? Was this like the first time that you've tried to use one in a beer?
This is the first one that I've made with honey in. However, last year at Runaway for an International Women's Brew Day with Crafty Beer Girls in Manchester, we did a honey and rhubarb ale. And it was a certain type of, it was a UK honey again, but there wasn't a great deal of honey that went into it because they've got quite a small kit as well, which is nice. And it lightened the beer up. Didn't add very much sweetness to it or like overall sweetness, but it added like a nice, I don't know. There was something there that was just nice about it, and you wouldn't have known there was honey in it necessarily, but it worked well in there, and with the rhubarb too. But yeah, this is definitely the first beer that I've done with like 80 kilograms of honey, which is mental.
That's a lot of honey. Did you find it difficult to brew with honey? Have you got any tips for anyone that wants to brew with honey?
Try and get it as warm as possible, so it comes out the tubs or whatever you've got in comes out nice and easy. Our honey was set honey, so we had it on the copper melting away on there in some tubs of like boiling water to get it as soft as possible. And then as soon as it went into the kettle, it just kind of plopped out really nicely and it was very satisfying.
That's the brewery ASMR right there. I like that. Did you sort of like know that you're like, we're gonna have to heat this up? Did it go according to plan in that way, or were you sort of a bit like, oh yeah, we'll just heat it up, and then it ended up like, did it take the amount of time that you thought it was? Because like in my brain, I'd be going like, yeah, we'll heat it up, it's fine, and then just like checking in on it, like, oh, okay, it's probably still not. I feel like I could see how easily I would screw that up.
Yeah. We kept checking it all the time, and I kept kind of opening it and like squishing it a bit just to see and definitely make sure it was kind of working as well. But as soon as we got it, we're like, where can we put this, which is a warm room, to make sure it just doesn't get any harder and it kind of starts to soften out. So as soon as we got the honey come in, we put it right up into the radiator in our lab to make sure it kind of semi-softened up as well. But like straight away they went in hot water, and we were like rechanging the water throughout the day as well to make sure. So it took a good couple of hours to get it soft.
I was gonna say, I feel like that would be my biggest mistake. I'd totally underestimate that. I'd be like, yeah, it's fine, and then I'd be like, oh no, it's still not ready. Okay, great.
2 brews on that day helped as well, because the copper had already been really hot as well by the time we needed to put it in for the second brew. So definitely do a double brew day. I think that's key.
I thought you were going to say like, yeah, we did a double brew day and this was the first beer of the day. And I was going, oh no, that's probably not great. It's probably handy that it was the second one. In terms of you guys do, I know you guys have if I'm remembering correctly, you guys have a core range or you at least release a set amount of beers, over the year. Could you talk us through like what that core range looks like for anybody that doesn't know what to expect on the regular from you?
So our core range is made up of about 9 beers, and they go from session, IPA, a lager, to we've got a bitter, stout, gatekeeper. I'm in the boardroom currently as well, so I've got a fridge right next to me with all of them in.
I love
that. Axe Edge, which is our flagship beer that we've had for years, is part of our core range and will be and always has been. And then we have Kingslayer as well, which is part of that. And we have, at the moment, we have Axed, which is our 0.5% beer. It's not necessarily part of the core range, but it's something that we like to try and have more of and have around the year as well, especially during this time of year. And especially when we've got our tap room up in an industrial estate. So it's a perfect beer to have on keg, and a few in can as well up here too. Um, and then we have our Nipa, which is featherbed as well. So we've got a nice range of core beers. So there is something there for everyone as well. And for me, Deep Dell is one of my favourite IPAs as my go-to beer. I don't like anything overly hoppy or too bitter, but Deep Dell it's a session IPA and it is sessionable, which I like about it. It's so easy, it's refreshing. You've got like a slight hoppiness, but it's not like overpowering, which I like about it. It is a good like starter into your like IPA kind of journey as well, which I like. Yeah. So yeah, got something there for everyone.
Nice.
Which one do you think is like, if you could summarize just like all of this is like the hardest question, and I don't expect you to be able to answer this easily. In terms of like Buxton as a whole, which one do you think embodies like if somebody has never tried Buxton and you were like, this is the one to try because this will give you like an amazing view of what we are and what we do and where we are located, like which would be the one?
I'm going to say Axe Edge. I'm going to say Axe Edge. It's been
asking you to pick from the ladies.
Yeah, it's been there for so long, and it's changed as well, and it's grown, and it's gone back to everything that it's meant to be. And it's the flagship beer of Buxton Brewery for IPA wise, definitely. But then you've got all these impy stouts that we did. Like, I think, Buxton Brewery is definitely well known for impies, for sure. And that you've either got Axe Edge people know you for, or the Kingslayer in Tesco. And then you've got another bunch of people who know you for your crazy impy stouts like Zars. I can't think what else there is. Yellow Belly, for example, that kind of beer. And that is one of those beers that was very well known for Buxton. And we brought the last ever keg of that to Manchester Craft Beer Festival weekend just gone, and people went nuts for it.
I bet they did.
Absolutely nuts.
I bet they did.
I've got one of like the re-releases of that. And I'm like, I don't want to drink it because like once I do, like this is because it was one of the re-releases where it was like, oh, it's the same one but they've like changed like the front of it, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to drink it because I know that there wasn't that many of the re-releases that people around me got hands on, and I was like, once I drink it, it's gone, and I don't really want to do that.
But if you don't drink it, then you don't ever get to taste it.
I know, but I'm like stuck in this loop of like, I really want to drink it because it sounds amazing, but then it's gone, and then I'm sad. So I can only imagine people. But did you have a queue for it? Were people queuing? Because I can imagine.
Yeah, we told quite a few people, and all of a sudden there was just this massive queue for people coming up to ours. And like the festival wasn't mega busy this year. There wasn't as many breweries this year. I mean, it was the same time as Hop City, so you've got like quite a lot going on. But I think the busiest that the festival saw was when Yellow Belly came out. So
achievement unlocked.
Was it one of those things? Because I was volunteering at a festival, and like Putty came out, for example, and it was that thing of like people were queuing, and it was like you knew when people were coming out, you were like, okay, and you're for that one. Does anybody not want this one? Like, did you have to do that approach of like, does anyone not want Yellow Belly? Because I can help whoever doesn't want that, and then you're like, no one. Okay, we'll just stand it.
It was so much. It was definitely like that. Just standing behind our little bar and saying hi to everyone and going, yeah, we just want this one. I was like, okay. Anyone want anything different?
You're like, nothing else? Okay,
No?
that's
Okay.
we'll just wait. Right, should we get on to the next beer? Because I'm conscious of time, so I don't want to. We've got 2 more to get through. I'm very excited about this one because I'm really excited about the conversation for this one. Right. Joe, do you want to introduce the next one? Because I did the first one.
This is Adventure is Worthwhile, which is Kvike Nepa, and this is your International Women's Collaboration Brew Day beer, which circles around quite nicely because that's how we met you.
That was a double brew day as well,
Brew
wasn't
day.
it?
That
Talking
was
about
double
double brew
brew
day, that was
day,
a
yeah.
double brew day. That was an early start and a fun late finish.
In 2022 at Lost Industry and Heist.
I can't believe it was that long ago. That is wild. Oh my god, look at that. That is gorgeous. Ooh.
It smells amazing.
It looks amazing, it smells amazing. It's like everything I want, I think. Everything I want when you say New England IPA, it's like that's what I want. Just
like
based
juice.
on the view of it and the smell of it alone. Do you want to talk us through the recipe, what we should be getting, all that jazz? I'm excited.
So, I'm extremely proud of this beer. Adventure is Worthwhile is, International Women's Collaboration Brew Day beer for this year, 2025. It is juicy. She's juicy and she is thick. And that is everything that I wanted in this beer. It's like drinking orange juice, I find, like an orange and mango juice. With a little bit of bitterness. It's not too overpowering, which is nice. But so Adventure is Worthwhile. The name was, I was kind of stuck with a lot of choices for names for this beer. My favourite name that I couldn't have, unfortunately, because someone's already got it, was Mash the Patriarchy.
That's a good name.
That would have been fantastic.
That's a good name.
Oh my
Amazing
god.
name. I absolutely love that name. However, someone's already got it up north as well for one of their beers. So it took me quite a while to come up with a name. It wasn't until my production director, Rob, we were just chatting about it because it was something that I've been projecting for months to get the recipe sorted. And we were going through, I would just go online, look for quotes from feminists and amazing women in history. And I found a few, but they didn't have that like, wow, for me.
Yeah.
And he suggested Amelia Earhart because his little one really likes Amelia Earhart, which is really cute. And then we found this Adventure is Worthwhile in itself, I believe. Yeah, Adventure is Worthwhile in itself. And it's got that Amelia Earhart quote, but also it resonates with Buxton Brewery too, and about us being adventurous in the peaks. And I thought it all just collaborated really well with this. And then coming up with a can design as well. I was working along Ride Shotgun to try and get this design out. And I was like, you've got to have an airplane on there. Amelia Earhart.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
Given.
Yep. Obs.
And then you've got 4 hikers, women all together, having a walk in the hills, which you've got Buxton Brewery there, like Buxton in the peaks kind of vibe. And this year's theme was society. And I like the idea of a group of people getting together and going for a walk and getting out and hanging out together and midway through a walk having a beer, you know? But this beer is mainly just oats. It's oats, and more oats. You could call it a breakfast.
It literally tastes like, yeah, so the plan B, I was like, oh, because you have that like honey and that almost like cereal element, I was like, oh, that could be like a nice little like breakfast. But this is breakfast. Like, this is breakfast juice. It is so, and I think when people see like Vike, they sort of go like, oh, I don't know, is that going to be like, it can be really divisive, but like, this is beautiful. This is literally, if you love New England IPAs, this is and even if you're a person that normally goes, oh, I don't know if I like Vike, like, this is so, I can't verbalize it.
First time using Kveik yeast, and mind blown with this.
Yeah.
It's mental. It's a mental yeast. And we brewed it at about 35 degrees, and it took literally like 4 days. Absolutely crazy.
It's crazy yeast.
We did active fermentation as well in Kveik yeast. I'm a sucker for some active firm hops. I love what it brings to a beer and the different oils and flavors that you can get out of them. So we used, for the active firm, we used Vista, which is a new hop for me as well, and it's brought some real nice tropical notes in there, as well as, I feel like, even though this beer was not meant to have much bitterness to it, I think because it's been hot and the hops have gone in at a warm temperature, it's added like a nice layer of bitterness there as well. And then I dry hopped it with my favourite kind of hops, New Zealand. I'm a sucker for a New Zealand hop. Like them. They're amazing. Juicy and everything that you want out of a hop. So I used Nectaron, and a hop that I've been so excited to use. And I took pictures of the bag and everything. It was Superdelic. I went really like nerdy, brewer nerd, with like these new hops that come in, open the box straight away like a parcel, going, oh my god, this is amazing. And like Superdelic, it literally has everything that it says it has. It brings that candy, pithy, tropical note to it. And like the layers of all these different hops have definitely brought like an orange and mango kind of just tropicalness to it, and and with the mouthfeel as well, and the thick and juiciness, it just, if I do say so myself, I think it works really well, and I am very, very proud of this.
I think that it's definitely one to be proud of, for sure. And like, yeah, that it is, that mouthfeel so good, but and it's not like, it's still like, again, for lack of my words just aren't, I can't think of the right words for it, but like, it's almost like it's full, but then it's like fluffy as well. It's like this lovely, pillowy, like beautiful full mouthfeel as well, and like it is just so full of flavor. And yeah, I love Nectaron. So Nectaron and Superdelic. I think the first time I had Superdelic was maybe, I want to say like a year or two ago, and I hadn't heard of it before, and my friend Greg was brewing a beer over at a brewery near me, and he was like, you've got to try this, I've made this beer with Superdelic and it's like really, really good. And I tried it and I was like, what is this hop? This is amazing. And then I was like, I want to try more of this hop, so I was like actively seeking out beers that had Superdelic in it, and I don't think I've had a single one, this included, yet that I've gone, oh, I don't know if that's great. Like every single one I'm like, just absolute banger. So I feel like you managed to get like the combination of hops like so just perfect. And I'm a sucker for a good dry hop as well, so I'm like, oh, this ticks all the boxes for me, so I'm absolutely loving it. So do you want to talk us through, in terms of like, so obviously this was your International Women's Collaboration Brew Day beer, do you want to talk us through sort of like the history of how long you've been doing these, because you've organised it for a few years, or you've done it at Buxton for a few years. Do you want to talk us through like how you brought that to Buxton, at least for this year, and how you've planned it and everything that goes into the day there, and talk us through how the day went? Very curious.
So The first one that I went to was at Heist in 2022 when I met you two. And it was such a wonderful day. Like, it was practical, it was fun. Joe did a beer tasting at the end, and that was amazing. Yeah.
I was the photographer.
You were
I
the
photographed.
photographer. Yeah.
And it was just such an amazing day. And it was a chance to talk to other people in the industry and talk to people who also like beer. And that was really kind of, for me, the start of my journey in brewing and in beer, and to be part of a massive community of other women that were in the industry and also like beer. That then led to the first year of me doing International Women's Brew Day here. And it like in the last 3 years of doing it myself, it has been a real journey, and every beer has been different. And I've learned from all of this as well. But for the first year, I invited, because we're quite a small brewery, as well as it's not too small, but it's not too big. And our kit's semi manual. I want to say it's mainly automatic, so it can be hard to do an interactive brew day. So it was trying to make as much of it as interactive for other people as possible, whilst also having the chance to talk with other people and have fun. So for the first year, we had Alice and Laura from Thornbridge, we had Mel from Cloudwater, Sarah from Torside, and then we had 2 people from Beartown as well. And I tried to keep it quite local to Buxton too, because I find that within this area, there's not much going on for brewing wise, or for this kind of event. It's normally like in Manchester or down in London or bigger places. And like for Buxton, for me, from Buxton, it's quite hard to get to some of these places. So yeah, like it started off quite small, and then the following year in 2024, we did a raspberry wit beer. It was something that I was just super excited to try, and I've always wanted to make one myself because I love a wheat beer and I love a bit of a wit, and I wanted to make something really fruity and different, especially for Buxton Brewery as well. It just added something different there and within my portfolio. And we had basically the same people come again, as well as our bar staff and other members of staff within the company that could join as well. However, this year has been amazing. It is like I'm super proud of myself for this year, and what we've all accomplished. So I helped with one of our recipes for Fresh Pulp, which is in Tesco, which I'm super excited about. And another beer, Double Back, that I brewed and designed the recipe, which was a New Zealand session. I kind of just mashed those two together to try and make something extra juicy and thick. And we got this, and everyone that came was amazing, and we had such a lovely time. We had the new tap room over the road, trackside, where we all sat by the fire, ate croissants, had some really nice coffee, and it was just a really lovely day of talking to everyone, and having a few same people come as well. Sarah from Torside, Renee, who's part of Crafty Beer Girls as well. She's come in for the couple of years. And then after this got brewed, we had a massive launch party. And it was just, it was great. We had a vinyl DJ, we had a quiz that I did. And I've done quizzes for the last 2, but they've been nowhere near as mega as this one. A lot of effort and a lot of time went into this one as well. And then we had a raffle. It was the world's longest raffle. I don't know how I feel about it, and I don't know if I will do it again.
I have
It
so
took at
many
least an
additional
hour.
questions.
Like, because you had so many prizes, or because people were just not answering to their tickets?
There was like quite a few prizes, but also there was like loads of tickets, and I just kept pulling out the same people's name over and over again.
Oh
To the point where I had
no!
I'm sorry, but I can't give you your fourth raffle prize. I need to pick someone else.
Yeah.
And it just took ages. Like some people weren't there, or some people like in the brewery had bought tickets but had told me specifically, I'm going to buy some tickets. I don't want a prize. I'm just putting money into the pot for the charity.
Nice.
And a few of those got pulled out as well. And it was just like, it was just so long. It was just so long.
It's when you do it the last thing as well, and some people have gone home, and you're
Yeah.
just like, and this was
Yeah,
anyone with this
thing.
one, anyone with this one. No, okay, next.
Luckily, every single person that was there and all the tables, at least more than one person on that table actually came up and got something. So it was good. It was good for the people that were there, definitely. They all finally got something. But it was long. It was long.
I want to know, like, the quiz, like what kind of questions were you asking? Were they like general knowledge? Were they beer specific questions? I feel like I just need to know.
So it was, the first round was women in history. And then
Nice.
the second round was women in movies. The third round was a 2-part round, which was music. So I had, what did I have? I had, one of them was reading out lyrics and then seeing if you could work out what song it was and the artist. Yep. And then one of them was I would play a snippet of the start of the song as well. And then the final round was women in sport. Hardest round ever. Just sport in general.
I was going to say, I can't do sport.
No, I'm out now. Music's my jam.
I was going to say music, I'd be like, okay, I've got that.
Guess the intro, I got that.
I'd probably embarrass myself with women in history because you'd probably ask me and I'd be like, I feel like I should know this, and my mind's going blank. Yeah. And then the women in film, I'd probably be like, oh, I could tell you everything except the thing you're asking for. Music, I could probably do that. And then I feel like you'd be like, women in sport, and the second you said sport, I'd be like, I'm out. I did not win. I did not win.
When I was like, I got to a sports round, because some people are going to be there that know sports.
Yeah.
And it took me 8 years to Google stuff to find out, like, because I knew nothing. I know absolutely nothing. Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to go through my brain and go, what women do I know in sport? Like, what sports do I know? And I'd be like, I've maybe got 5. I've got 5. I'm not good at sports.
Brilliant.
No, yeah.
I think you and Kate from Hand need to like get together and like swap ideas for International Women's Days, because both of you sound like you put on a really good show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to the Brewers Journal next month, I think it is, and Kate is one of the speakers there. So I'm really excited to see some really cool people. So that's exciting.
For your day, was like the majority of people that were at yours, were they people that were in the industry, or did you have some people that were like, oh, I just really like beer, so I wanted to sort of come along just to experience?
Yeah, it was a mix. It was definitely a mix with some people that work in beer and people that work in the tap house as well, that are like coming into beer or interested. And some people that just absolutely love beer, which is great. It's nice to have a mixture of people there and to get people to have a feel for what it's like brewing and what it's like to make something crazy and amazing. Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to go out on a limb and say something, but this beer, I feel like the more I'm drinking it as well, the more I'm like being from New England and drinking lots of New England IPAs in New England. I want to say that like, yeah, putting my New England hat on now. And what I don't like is when the actual like New England, it's like not juicy, because I like juicy boys. But I feel like this tastes like what I would get in the US as well in terms of like New England IPA. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I want to put that out there. So if anyone's listening to this and is like, yeah, you should absolutely try it. And I feel like I love the fact that it's also for an international women's collaboration, because it almost is like, if you want to enjoy this amazing, delicious beer, you're going to have to look at this can and you're going to have to read it and you're going to have to talk about International Women's Collaboration Brew Day. You're not going to be able to go, this is a great beer, and then not think about what it is. You're going to have to talk about it. And this is a conversation starter. So enjoy the beer and take the conversation on it. And it's only 5.5%. Like that.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. Like how this tastes akin to similar, like higher ABV, not in an alcoholic way, but just like the quality wise of like what you get with like higher percentage like New England IPAs in New England. So well done on that one. I will put that out there. Not that my New England hat really means that much, because most people are like, you're from Bristol, stop lying to everybody. But I swear, behind me you can see I've got a Boston thing, and a person that doesn't like sports, I've also got a Boston sports thing above me as a person that's like, I don't do sports, but there we go. I'm taking my New England card out and I'm saying this is great. What I would love to know, it's certified New England. What I would absolutely love, as much as you feel comfortable sharing as well, like, can you talk to us about your journey into beer? Like, what was maybe the beer that got you into beer in general, and then like what kind of was your journey into beer, into craft beer, that takes you to where you are today as an amazing brewer making amazing New Englands?
So I started working in the tap house back at the end of 2019, and not knowing much about beer or anything really, I started getting given tasters, and some of them really were like face fillers. Like someone gave me barley wine, and I was like, "What is this? What is this?" 5 years later, I've tried barley wine again, and it's still the same.
Still not for you.
I thought you were going to be like, love it, it's my favourite. Now you're like, hate it still.
No.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I remember, but it's still not my thing. I then tried Fast Skyline, which is the Berliner Weisse. Fell in love with it completely. It was like sour, slightly hoppy, beery. It was just a really good gateway beer. And then Scotch Skyline was incredible. It was just amazing. And then I tried the Lemon Meringue Omnipollo collaboration.
That one was good, yeah.
And oh my word, that was everything for me. I could not stop drinking it. Every time that I went into Tesco, I would go, yeah, yank, get that off the can. It was amazing. It was absolutely great. And then COVID happened, and I was also at uni during the time, so I wasn't really doing anything. Then went back into the bar after COVID went away, I suppose, the first time round.
I love how we all have to go like it went away. I guess we fixed it. It was okay.
And then went back to the bar, started working there again, and then COVID came back. And I needed to do something to fill my time up, especially with uni as well. So I came up to the brewery just to help with online orders and packaging boxes. So I was doing that part-time, as well as trying to do my dissertation as well, which was hell. Um,
Yeah.
don't like uni. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. It was an experience. Definitely do it. It's a good experience, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Beer got me through that, which was great. Um, and then outdoor bars opened up, and we had a container in the garden at the brewery, and we were serving beer out of that. And we had just taken on the building, which is now trackside over the road, in 2021, I think. So I was working in the garden doing that, and that was that was so much fun. And the people I worked with as well, it was so much fun, especially during the summer. It was great. And then I was still working in the brewery as well, part time, to fill up my day, as well. And then slowly but surely, I moved out from hospitality, working with customers face to face, and came full time into the brewery, just helping out with bits and bobs, helping on the canning line, putting boxes on pallets and putting cans in boxes. And then just eventually it just grew. I then was being trained how to work the canning machine, and I could run the canning machine. I could do the paperwork and do the labels. And then brewing came up, and I was like, that seems interesting. Like, I wouldn't mind having a go. Um, and then I slowly, just happily by accident, got into brewing, and then I am now where I am. It was a happy little COVID accident, a little COVID baby for me.
Had you ever homebrewed before anything, or did you just kind of go like just the natural progression of things? You're like, yeah, I guess I could try that. Like, if I can do a canning, like, I'll try that. Sure.
I never knew about brewing. I never knew anything about making beer. Um, I've never homebrewed. My uni course was in outdoor activities and sports coaching science. I've done sports. I've learned sports my whole life.
You can't say that because you just said you wouldn't have been able to pass the sports challenge. That is, you can't say that.
I still know nothing
Now being
about
taken up by
sports.
brewing. Yeah.
And it just became such a huge interest for me as well. And like just learning how it was made. And like there's so much to it that you don't realize that there is to it, which is crazy. Because you're going into like chemistry, biology, and it is like being at school again. And I love learning. I love learning new things. And then, I mean, yeah, it just progressed. I then could work the brew kit eventually, and then started making my first recipe was an International Women's Collaboration Brew Day recipe back in 2023. And then from then, I started kind of getting a bit more familiar with everything. And then I'm now doing my apprenticeship, and I'm nearly finished doing my apprenticeship. And having that experience prior has made that experience like a lot more easy to transition into. But now I'm coming up with recipes and helping change recipes and improve them, and make seasonal beers and one-off beers, and help with production. And being able to also run the canning line as well means that I can do more than just one thing, which is nice. So I'm quite versatile within the brew house, which is great for me because it means that I'm not always tied down to one thing. But yeah, it's just a happy accident.
I absolutely, I love the fact that what I love about that most, I think, is because like if somebody said to me, I've had so many people go, "Oh, when are you going to get into beer?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's me. Like I'm in my lane. I'm thriving and surviving. I'm so thriving in my lane in IT, doing my IT thing. And I just love beer on the side. And people are like, "Oh, would you ever get into like brewing beer?" And I'm like, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't know where to start. I get too much anxiety. I wouldn't know where to start. and I think
homebrewed with me, and that
yeah, I'm
was,
homebrewed with
she was
you.
anxious enough
I'm just
about
too
that.
I just get too much. I'm like, am I sparging enough? I don't like. It's like if I'm gonna do something,
What if I spill it? And I'm like, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
like,
It's fine.
I'm doing it to like the most perfection. I'm like, we need to sparge. She's like, it's done. I'm like, no, there's more in here. And she's like, no, we gotta stop
I'm
that.
like, oh, you've been sparging for an hour and a half. Come on.
In my brain, I'm like, it's just not done yet though until it's perfect. And I think what's really great is like, I would sit there and go when someone says, "Oh, are you gonna brew?" I'm like, "No, I've got too much anxiety for that. I've never done it before, and I wouldn't even know where to begin." And like, I just don't think that that's not me. I don't think I could do that because I don't homebrew. I think in my brain, I go because I've never homebrewed on my own. Oh, I don't think I could do that. And I think what's really amazing is like you've just kind of gone like, yeah, I learned this, like I never did this thing before, and then I just thought, yeah, I'll learn how to do that thing, and I did it. And it's like, yeah, okay, I've never brewed before, I've never homebrewed, that would be really cool to learn, I'll give it a go. And I think that is hopefully if somebody else is listening that goes, I think it would be really cool to brew beer, but I've never homebrewed, so obviously that couldn't be me. I think it's really nice for them to hear that's like, but why couldn't that be you? Like, if you just decided, like, maybe I do want to try that, maybe that could be me, I'll give that a go. Maybe you could thrive in that environment and move on to, you know, being the brewer. Like, I think that's really important for people to hear.
It is, honestly, if you're interested in it, do it. Do it. You don't know. You don't know whether you're going to actually fall in love with it or completely hate it and just rather drink the beer. Just do it and go out there and have fun. At the end of the day, it's beer, right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if anything goes wrong. Like, most of the time, it is fixable as well. So, and you can, if you make if an accident happens, you can make it into something different that wasn't meant to be. You know, there's room for error, and to also make something completely different. You know, it's like painting, it's like baking a cake. You've got so many different tries that you can do to get exactly what you want and to make it perfect to what you want. And it's just about constantly changing the recipe, editing the recipe, having a bit of fun, seeing what works out for you. I have made some errors before, and you know, I've mashed in at completely the wrong temperature, not once but twice. I may have cried when I did it, but everything turned out absolutely fine in the end. And you know, luckily for me, we've got a heat element for the mash tun, and I can fix that problem. And I know what I can do to fix that and to make things different, you know. And it's do it, have fun. It doesn't matter if something goes wrong. Who cares? It's beer. Drink it out of the worst.
Beers that I've heard where, oh yeah, we didn't mean to make it like that, it was an accident, or we put this through, that one ended up in the wrong tank, or so and so forgot to add this, or so and so added this instead of this. And they're like very well known beers, very popular.
There is
now,
a very well known brewer that I know for a fact. They had a beer that started off as one thing, and then they had to fix it so many times that it turned out completely different to what it was supposed to be. And they're like, I guess this is what it is now, because it started off as one thing and then they tried to save it so many different times, and it was drinkable. Like, it wasn't a bad beer, it was still drinkable. It just was very different to what they started with. So the second you said that, Joe, I was like, I know another brewery where that's happened. But it's worked out absolutely fine in the end, and people have really enjoyed it. So, but yeah, that's I just think that was really important to say.
Yeah, it's honestly, like, if it's something new and interesting, you should do it. You should go for it. Be out there, explore the world of like possibilities. You know,
adventure is worthwhile.
Is worthwhile.
I was just gonna say adventure is worthwhile. That is the perfect name. This has never become such a perfect name.
Yeah.
or as our branded glasses do say, where adventure is always brewing. So,
Oh yeah, that is
that
that
was
one is
even
better. Yeah. I'm conscious that in terms of the timing, are you all right for us to go for the last beer? Do you have enough
yeah, no, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah.
time? Excellent. I'm really excited about this because I really like the name.
I love the name of this one.
This one is the Wang Doodle. It's an American brown from you guys, and I love the name, and I like the just the artwork in general. I want to know more about it, but before I ask about where the name came from or anything else, do you want to talk to us about the beer?
It's an American brown. So it's a nice brown ale. This was brewed and created by one of our other brewers. One reason I picked this as well is because this is my current favourite beer. I love a brown ale. And I really, really enjoy this beer a lot. But for like hop wise in there, we've got Willamette hops, which I find gives like a bit of a hedgerow kind of taste, a bit of a blackberry kind of ness to it. But you've got brown malt in there, you've got biscuit malt in there.
I love that satisfying crack open sound as well. There's nothing like just a satisfying crack open and pour.
I always have in my head as well, each time I crack anything, I've always got cracking a cold one with the boys in my head every single time.
I feel like that's now going to be in my head. I wasn't thinking that, and now that's going to be in my head. It's like, I'm going to be someplace random with like a random set of people. I'm going to crack open a beer and go, you know, just cracking a cold one with the boys. And somebody's going to look at me and be like, why? And I'll be like, you know.
It could be anything though. It could be a Starbucks 3-shot espresso coffee. It's like cracking a cold one.
I think that's actually more of my favourite, is if it's a Starbucks double shot and I've cracked it, I'll go, you know, cracking a cold one with the boys at 11 o'clock in the office, no big deal. We have cans of sparkling water. When the next time I'm in the office, I'm going to crack open a can of sparkling water and I'm going to go, you know, cracking a cold one with the boys. And then I'm just going to start drinking and just gauge the reaction.
You have to make sure as well it's quiet enough that people can hear that crack as well.
I love that, especially because in our office, we'll always say we're going to get something with the boy. We'll be like, oh, we're going to go get burgers with the boys, or like whatever. But we specify every time that we're like, oh, it's boys with an I, like it's BOIS. It's included, like everyone's a boy here. Everyone's a boy here. Everyone like we're all part of the boys. It's fine. There's an I in it. It's all good. Because people have come in the office and they've been like, why are you saying like burgers with a boy? Like, I don't understand. We're like, no, it's boys with an I, so we're all boys. It's fine. But that's just, I can't wait to take that into the office and just go, oh, you know, cracking a cold one with the boys. Just see how they respond to that.
Your office is
so
gonna love it. Like,
they are actually gonna love it so much.
As soon as Sophie said it, I was like, "Can we just say that in our office?"
I can see it taking off. I can see it taking off. Matt, that's going to be the new thing in our office. So thank you, Sophie. I'll give you credit for that.
I'll report back.
But the Wang Doodle, we're here to talk about the Wang Doodle, not cracking a cold one with the boys, which we're doing right now. We're cracking a cold one with the boys.
And the Wang Doodle is delicious.
I really nice. Like this so much. It is great. It's a great bit.
And again, like I feel like consistently on all of them, the head's just been like really beautiful. In the glass, it just looks beautiful. The color is beautiful. Where did this name come from? Because I just need to know.
If, in all honesty, I have no idea.
I kind of like that more, actually, because I like that it just says gather around the campfire for an American brown ale inspired by Texan prairie lands. And then I'm like, what's the Wang Doodle? And you're like, not a clue. Love it.
I don't know where this name has necessarily come from. It just happened. It just happened. Yeah, that's about it. Really, it just happened. The name. I can't really.
It's
Yeah, I
just
can't
so
really
tasty.
elaborate anymore.
It's a tasty beer.
It's really tasty.
Yeah.
Oh, again, like all of
Yeah.
them have just been really sessionable, really drinkable.
Yeah. Like, I sometimes think when you get an American brown, like, sometimes they could, like, when they put quite, like, it's got that kind of harsh hop in it, or like the pine's very forward, or the bitterness is very forward on it. Like, they can be a bit like you don't only drink one can of it. Like, but this, I think I could drink a lot of this one.
It's very nicely balanced.
Yeah.
It's got that caramelliness and that nuttiness, which I really look forward to in an American brown. And it's just so tasty. It is so tasty. And Toby, who brewed this and came up with the recipe, has done a wonderful job on this beer. It is great. I really enjoy it. And I really enjoy a brown ale. The artwork is cool.
Yeah.
I do like the artwork.
I mean,
you got a little Bigfoot here as well.
Bigfoot.
I'm assuming that's the Wang Doodle. I'm assuming that's the Wang Doodle.
The meaning of Wang Doodle is like mythical creature, or an unidentified creature, isn't it? Or like it can also mean like the thingy-majig, just the thing.
I assumed that it was like I just thought that was the name for a specific thing. Now I feel like I've just been educated. You're like, no. I listen to like paranormal podcasts and all that stuff, and you're like, no. Let me tell you what Wang Doodle means. And then I'm like, oh, I did not know that. Excellent. But yeah, no, the colours in the label as well. Like I like that there's the little Wang Doodly Bigfoot, and I like the colours in it. I think it's very visually appealing to me, I think.
And it's one of those labels, right, that when you look at it, like, you know what's inside it. Like, these colours emit, like,
100%.
this beer, right? Like, sometimes you get... We're very drawn by labels.
We're magpies. Just say it, we're magpies.
Yeah, we're not shy in saying that we're drawn by labels. And sometimes you get a label and, like, it's got a colour on it or something, and you're, like... When the beer comes out, you're like, oh, that's not what I expected. But,
sometimes I like that.
And sometimes I like that. But this tells me exactly what's inside it from these colours. Like, I get what it's going to taste like. Like, it just tells you the story. I love it.
I am very much, attracted by can labels, for sure. I have 2 bags for life in my basement just of empty cans because I can't part with them because they're so pretty.
I've got a massive stack of just the like, do you see that? I mean, you can see in the video, I'll show it. Do you see like that there?
Oh, yeah.
That's a big old stack of papers with labels on it.
Oh, yeah. Tori takes them off. And she will also try go and find paper when she's out and about. So
I don't like, that's generous. I find paper. No, I'll be like, that blue roll will do. I've taken blue roll. Like, I'm like, napkin, blue roll. Because there's always blue roll. If you don't have blue roll, it's like, where even are you? You're probably not somewhere worthwhile saving a label.
You're not in a hospitality environment.
The amount of times I've said like, blue roll will fix it. It's fine. As long as we got blue roll, we're doing fine. We can fix this. I am curious to know more about your apprenticeship, because it's really focused in my work. We were talking about like doing apprenticeships and stuff, and we were joking about how we just need to get more people doing apprenticeships, and they go, well, you're obviously going to do a beer one, so let's look up a beer one for you. And they were the only one that we could find was the brewing one, and I was like, hilarious. I went, no, I don't think I can do that. I'm not qualified for that one, I don't think. But I am really curious to kind of know how, like, what kind of stuff do you, like, it sounds like I'm doing research. I'm like, so actually, I said I wasn't going to do it, but maybe I am. But what kind of stuff, like, are you doing as part of that apprenticeship? And do you get, like, tested at the end of it? Like, what is it like?
So I started last year in April, and you do 2 days worth of workshops about every 3 months, and every workshop is different. So my workshop that I had about 2-3 weeks ago was about kegging, casking, and cellaring, which was really cool and like super interesting. So you have your workshops, and then when you've done that, you come away and you write a logbook about that workshop that you've done. And it will then help you with your professional discussion that you will do at the end of the year. So you go through Gateway to make sure that everything's fine and that you're ready. And you do 3 things in order to get your qualification. So you do a professional discussion on 3, should know this as well because I've gone over it multiple times. I apologise if I get this wrong now as well.
That's all right.
No, this is not a test. This is not a test, it's just curiosity.
You do a professional discussion, I think about 3 subjects or 3 areas. You go around the brewery for an hour and you have to talk. It's essentially like 10 minutes on every section in an hour. And then you do a multiple choice test as well. So things that you learn in the workshop will be in the multiple test. And then your workshop will also help you do stuff for your logbooks, which you can print off and have when you do your professional discussions. So I have meetings with my trainer to go through a mock professional discussion. So he'll ask me questions, and then I'll answer them. They'll get recorded, so I can then look back as well, and make sure that I'm getting the questions that he's telling me, and to make sure that I've got the right information as well. But there's such a mix of people as well on the apprenticeship. When I first started, there was multiple people that hadn't even touched a brew kit yet.
Oh.
And had literally just started working in a brewery. So there is such an amazing group of different people there. And there's a few of us that have been brewing for a couple of years as well. So it's really great to see different breweries and hear about different breweries and all meet up as well. So it's also really good. You create a really nice community too with it all. But so far, if you're looking to do something, I would recommend doing this apprenticeship. It's with HIT training, and it's all based in Nottingham. And so far, it's been really good. And if you really like practical stuff as well, and learning practically and being able to do coursework, it's great. And you get really well supported. And Buxton Brewery as well have really supported me in this as well, which is great as well. But yeah, it's an interesting course, and there's things that I've learned that I never knew about, and there's stuff that's really helped me with everything that I do too. Here with creating recipes, knowing what problems I can fix, how to kind of expand different things and fix.
That's so cool because like I said, I think there's a lot of, I didn't even know that there were apprenticeships on that until we were just joking around going we'll sign you up for an apprenticeship. Obviously it's going to be beer based, so let's look up beer based things, and then that came up and I was just I didn't even know that was a thing you could do. So that's really, I thought I'd never met anyone knowingly that had done it. So when you said, I was I've just got questions, because there might be other people that go, actually that would be a really cool thing to try to get involved with. So that sounds that's a really good educational point.
Weirdly enough as well, someone that I met working here who was one of our brewers, he left a year and a half ago or so to work for a different company, and it's the company that I am with during my apprenticeship.
That's crazy.
And I'm also friends with him outside of everything as well. So that's really it's mental how we've then kind of come back into each other's lives in different ways. And I can't get rid of him.
But you wouldn't want to, would you?
No, I wouldn't. He's amazing. He is amazing. But it is crazy how we're then back in each other's lives in different ways again. And unfortunately, he's not my trainer, which sucks. But there we go.
It might be kind of nice though, because then you can kind of go, this is my trainer, and then this is my friend who I can get advice from. So that it's like, like you've almost got like two trainers, but like in different ways.
It is nice. It is nice.
Taking a slight step away from that, because I know that we've got to like wrap it up in a minute, but for anyone that wants to visit Buxton, obviously you were saying sort of like you've got your tap room and then you've got like the beer garden across the way. Where would you recommend somebody sort of stay? Like, do you have public transport? Is there an easy enough way? So if somebody was coming, so I'm further away from you, if I was like, I want to come and visit, like, where's the best way for me to go about that? Would it be staying in Buxton and driving to you guys, or is there public transport?
So we have a train in Buxton, so it goes from end of line to end of line. It's Buxton to Manchester or Stockport. So Stockport's a good changing area for trains. So if you're very much into trains, getting the train is super easy to get to. I've done it from Buxton all the way down to Hastings before, because that's where I'm originally from. It is a big journey, but it is super easy.
Big journey.
It is a big journey. It is super easy, especially if you're used to the tubes. It makes that small change really easy as well. There are coaches as well that you can get to Manchester, and then get the train from Manchester. You can also get the bus from Manchester, Stockport. So a lot of the changing to get into Buxton is Manchester and Stockport, really. So that's where you need to kind of aim for. Staying over-wise, there is so many options in Buxton and around the Peak District as well. So if you're very much into walking, you've got loads of places that you can go to. So in Buxton, you've got a few different hotels. You've got the Fancy Crescent, which is lovely to look at in Buxton as well, because it makes a massive part of Buxton. You've got things like the Palace, Premier Inn. There's also a lot of camping around this area. There is literally a camping site 2-minute walk from where the brewery is.
There you go.
And
I was asking for selfish reasons, so I was like, I've got it. I've decided I want to start car camping now. And so when you said that, you were like, this is beautiful view from I was like, all right, now I need to know, like, is there a place? How do I get to the brewery? Like, I was not sure if it was like one of those places that's like you have to drive to. If you don't drive to it, you're a bit screwed. But it's like, you can camp.
You can walk from town as well. It's about, depending on the way you walk, if you walk along the main roads, it's about 45 minute walk to here. If you walk through the fields where the campsite is as well, it can be about more 25, 30-minute walk. We've also had people stay overnight in their vans outside trackside as well on the weekends, which is great. So it means they can wake up and literally just go back into trackside when it's open.
I'm chuckling because you're like, the vans are there and it's going to be me in my Honda Civic. Just cracking a cold one with the boys, no big deal. And it's me with my Starbucks can. I've got it all planned out in my head, don't worry.
Early shift as well, so I can come with.
There we go.
I've got to wait till you're working, and then I'll be like, just cracking a cold one with the boys, no big, nothing to see. Nothing to see here. As I get out of my Honda in my pajamas, and everyone's got their camper vans, and I'm like, we're all good here. No, that's really cool to know. What's the name of the campsite?
So the one that's literally like 2 minutes away is called Lime Tree. I think it's just called Lime Tree Park, I believe. Because they've also got a farm shop there too called Duke's Drive Farm Shop, who actually supply our meat for our burgers over at Trackside. So we're very local source too, which is nice. And you can also see the cows in the field when they're out too, which is very cute, especially when they've got their calves at this time of year, which is adorable. I love cows so much. and we've got a little pen, and sometimes they come up, and you can just about stroke them, and it's great. I've got a video of one of them too.
I love that, and I'm sure that my dog would absolutely like, because she'll just sit there and stare at the cat. Like, she'll just be like, "Oh my god, that's a really big dog," and you're just like, "That's not a really big dog." She's just like, "That's a huge dog," and they're like, "What are you doing out there, dog?" And you're just like, "No, it's not." But I think that for anyone I just thought that was probably something to ask about, because I thought other people might want to travel to come visit you guys, and it sounds like, you know, from what I've seen, you've got like just such a really good range of stuff. It's like something to suit everybody. So yeah, I just thought I'm gonna ask for selfish reasons and for others.
In town as well, we've got 4 different venues. So we've got our tap house in town on George Street, and then literally next door, bar 1, we have our new cocktail bar called Sock and Buscombe, which is very brand new, very nice, and very nice cocktails made there. But we also have some of our core beers on there too, as well. So if you're not into cocktails, there is beer available as well as in that venue. We also have a pop-up shop in the Spring Gardens that sells cans, merch, and then we also have a small bar at Pavilion Gardens, which is in Pavilion Gardens in the centre of Buxton. And if you've got kids, perfect, because you can go up to Pavilion Gardens, get yourself a beer to take away, and you can take it to the park because it's all fine.
Nice.
I love it. Like, you go play, I will sit here.
Which is what I tend to do when we've got the stepkids sometimes. It's nice. They get an ice cream, we get a beer, go to the park, and we all have a great time.
Amazing.
The big question is the cocktail bar do beer cocktails?
Oh.
Yes.
Hey!
You've just ticked all the Tories' boxes now.
Tick, tick, tick. The only thing is like
next week.
Yeah, the only thing is like, can you take a dog into it? And a lot of places you can't. So it's like,
yes.
Yes, we ticked all the boxes. So there we go. We were supposed to fly to the US to see my family in a few weeks' time. Instead, we might be coming up to Buxton. So I'm gonna like leave. I'm gonna finish this recording. I'm gonna say to Rick, "Hey, yeah, actually, we got some cold one with the boys to crack. We gotta go. We gotta get to Buxton. We're booking it. I've got the name of the location. I've got places to go."
I love it.
So that's my holiday sorted, and I hope that anyone else listening, their holiday sorted as well.
Yeah.
And there's great places to go as well, and there's some other places that are really great to see too around this area. So if you're not necessarily into beer, there are other options at all the venues as well for non-beer drinkers. But also, beer is for everyone, and there is a beer out there for you, regardless. Try it, taste it. There's something there.
Yay! I feel like I can't ask anything else, because that was just the perfect way for Joe. Do you have any questions?
No,
do you want to ruin the flow?
Ending. Is it so? We've talked about all the venues, talked about the beers. Anything else you want to plug before we finish up?
I don't think so.
Adventure is worthwhile because it's delicious.
All of them, to be fair.
Just buy all of them. Yeah, just buy all.
Get the range. Get the vast range, because so far they're all bangers. So there you go.
Yeah.
IPA New England certified.
Sophie, it's been amazing catching up with you again. It was far too long. We need to do this more often. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a delight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Sophie. I'll see you in a few weeks.
I'll leave out a parking sign for you in the car park.
Awesome.
Do you know what? It has been too long, as we said, since we spoke to Sophie.
It really has.
She's one of those lovely people that we have met along the way when we've been doing our International Women Collaboration Brew Days.
That was my first. I think it was my first International Women's.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was. I could be wrong and I could be misremembering, but I think it was, and it was like the back to back where we started at Lost Industries in the morning. stupidly early.
Crack
of dawn, because I think the plan was always like a lot of the people that were going to go there would then go to Heist, so it was like we started really, really early so that we could get to Heist. It was like a you know how people do like the brewery crawl, and they're like, yeah, we're doing a beer crawl. It's like we did we're doing a make beer crawl, where we're like, we're gonna wake up stupid early. Everyone's outside of. I think we stayed at the. No, we stayed at
the
our Premier Inn, our Premier Inn.
in
but we got cabs. I feel like we got cabs from the Crow because we were meeting other people. So we got
the cabs didn't know where they were going.
They didn't know where they were going. We had to direct them. We didn't know where we were going to direct them.
But Jimmy made us a lovely breakfast.
But we had a great breakfast.
Yeah.
There was coffee.
Yeah.
It was great. And then we crawled on over to Heist to finish the day. You had Scoopy chips at that time.
Scoopy chips. We had Scoopy chips. I couldn't drink much during the day because I was tired and I was doing my beer tasting, and I wanted to be like on point for that. So I was like, I cannot drink things because I will not be like, as we had started so early, I was like, I will not be coherent for this. So I kind of did little bits along the way. And then we had the beer tasting.
My photos still came out fine, so that's fine. I still took fine photos.
It was great.
we did the recording. Yeah, it was good. And I think that's where we always was that the same time we went to the Crow after. And was that same trip?
No, that was a different one. That was a different one.
Fine.
Where we,
all right, that's fine. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. We went to the tap takeover at a different point in time.
At a different point in time, we had a selection of beers that were supposed to be different.
They were the same picture.
Yeah, they were there. This is the same picture. Yeah, we definitely had that moment.
Oh, that was
great.
That
was a different time in Sheffield because we've done a fair bit in Sheffield.
We've done, that's why I call it our Premier Inn. It is our Premier Inn because that's the one that we always say, and that's the thing. Like anytime I even think about the idea of going to Sheffield, I'm like, well, that's the place. Like if somebody's like, do you want to stay somewhere else? I'm like, oh God, no. Heavens no.
Stay
like
Premier Inn.
That's my accommodation. Like that's where I stay. And if someone's like, but there's a bed, I'd be like, shh, no. No. That's the one. There's parking. It's so easy to get to everything. Yeah. It's right across from like a game museum or something. It was like right across the way. Blew my mind. Yeah. Commune. Forgot about that. Great food.
Literally around the corner.
It's an everyone pleaser.
Shakey's, like just
it's true. Lots of really great spots within like a very quick walking distance, and then I know. Yeah, there's just lots of really great places there.
But that's not very far. If you're going to Indie Beer Feast, it's like walkable to Trafalgar Warehouse. Like, just good stuff.
It's a great location, but you can't have it because it's our Premier Inn.
Yeah, no, it's our Premier Inn.
So you can't stay there, or else we can't stay there. But yeah, no, and that's where we first met Sophie, and then you were absolutely right at the start. It was like we got an email. I was like, oh, would you be interested in just want to know, would you be interested? I was like, yeah. Don't even ask, just schedule it. Like I was like immediately yes. Like,
and I was like, that's our Sophie, right? That's our Sophie.
Would I want to? Yes, happily, excitedly, fully. Like I think I messaged you going. I mean. That's obviously I run. So the thing is like I'm gonna run everything by you before I respond to an email. But I was like, the answer's yeah, isn't it? And you were like, yeah,
of course.
And I was like, cool. Just checking. We didn't have any reason why we wouldn't, which I can't imagine in my brain why. But I was like, just to run it by you. The answer's yes, and you were like, of course it is.
1,000% yes.
Yeah, and I feel like every time. We don't get to like see and talk that much, but I just feel like anytime we do talk, I have tears in my eyes. Like when we were recording and she went cracking a cold one with the boys, and I could see myself using that like BOIS in my office. Like I was crying laughing because I was like, yeah, that suits me and my lifestyle right there. Cry and just the concept of like, no, but that's for all drinks. That's for any canned beverage. Yeah. I was like, I can see this working out really great. So that had me nearly in tears just with laughter. And I feel like that's every conversation, that every time we have a conversation, like one of us will say something, and it's just like that, like, yes and, that like improv yes and, where like somebody will say something and it will be, I'm not even going to divulge the secrets of like the you know, super secret stuff we talked about at International Women's Collaboration Brew Day that I nearly talked about on the podcast but didn't. She knows what I'm on about. She knows. Rachel will know. Everyone will know. Yeah, they'll know. But I was just like, that was a, what if we did this? And then it was like, but we could do this. And it was like a yes and layered sandwich of things. And yeah, that's, I feel like that's every amazing conversation that we have. So
I love seeing people that we've met at these brew days along the way and seeing like where they've gone,
where they are
and
now,
what they're
yeah,
doing, and then how they're continuing the legacy. Like, I feel
and I'm like, I'm still here in IT, but it's
No,
cool.
you're not. No. Like,
but it's cool because I've got a sticker on my water bottle, so I've done a thing too, guys. But no, I agree. I think it's so cool to just be like, yeah, that's cool. You came to International Women's Day, and then it's like, yeah, I am the brewer now. Like,
right,
I
exactly.
am a
like, just
full
seeing
brewer
how-
now. It's awesome.
Seeing how people started and where they are now, it's so good. I love it. Tori, if people wanna, you know,
crack a cold one with the boys. Everyone's
Where
a
can
boy
they
when
do
you
it?
spell it with an I. It's fine. We're very inclusive. You can find me. That's never not funny when someone drops that in. And I'm just picturing the double shot of like crack a cold with the boys at 9 a.m. Yeah, if you want to be one of the boys and you want to crack a cold one, you can find me. Oh, I feel like I need to give Sophie credit for that every time. Like trademark to Sophie.
I
for
like.
that.
So you gotta give her royalties.
I do. I mean, we can't because I can't afford. How many times I've said it in this recording alone? I can't afford that. I don't make enough money for that, and the podcast we do not make
No,
money.
we make no money.
We
So
actively lose money. We
lose
actively
money,
lose money.
yeah.
I can't do that. But I'm giving her emotional royalties. Like, love you, Sophie. Yeah, if you want to crack a cold one with the boys, emotional royalties, you can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism, or you can email me at adventuresinhoptimism@gmail.com. I've got my website, adventuresinhoptimism.com. I know I haven't posted too much. I've got like 2 blog posts on there, but I actually, within the last few days after work, I've been spending time writing a thing, which is probably going to end up being shit. And I feel like you don't understand how much time and effort and research goes into making something that sounds quite as shit as what I make. And it is astonishing because you go, where did all that time go for this? That's wild.
I don't believe
But I took a structure of a thing and now I'm building it out. And it's going to be, spoiler, it will be a bucket list beer one. But yeah, people will go, wow, that's a lot of words to say so little. I can't believe you spent days on that. So keep an eye out on that website because that will be there and it will be on my Instagram. If you want to follow Joe and me, I think I can't remember if we said it on the podcast when we stopped recording, but you know, we're doing things together. We're going to Little Earth Fest.
Yep.
You know, it's like we're doing things together. We're going there at the same time. We're not staying together this time. It's fine. But we'll be going there. Keep an eye on the socials.
My ex-work husband sleeping in my Airbnb with me.
I'm not even jealous. It's fine. I'm going to be paddleboarding and living my best car camping life. But yeah, if you want to follow both of us together, you want to know more about the podcast, you can find us at A Woman's Brew on Instagram. And I think we got Facebook still, I'm assuming, because I was going to say you've got the access to that. That's not my access thing.
We've still got Facebook. Got Blue Sky that we don't post anything on.
Blue Sky, which we don't post anything on, but I have access to that, so that's okay. Someday, maybe when I get round to it. But we also have the website, which is awomansbrewpod.beer. So you can follow us there, where eventually more will go there, but it's just been very busy.
You can listen and watch us there. So.
You can get all the links to us there, and I try when I do a post to also cross post it there so you can see there. And it is just, there's been a lot on for both of us, so there will be more there eventually when things quiet down, I'm sure. So get on that early, hop on that train early. Joe, if people want to follow all of your adventures, because you're the one that's traveling way more than me, where can they follow you?
If you want to see my adventures, you can come find me. I am Love Beer Learning on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, but you're more likely to find me on Instagram. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk. or you can email me lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Let's go finish these.
Yeah, I just poured
beers.
more Nipa, so
So good.
very good.
Cheers.
Cheers.